Welcome back to another excellent episode of Schematics, where we build mental toughness by this specific type of study, making ourselves ready for whatever, whenever, and social and cultural trajectories of 2026. The mass culture gets worse. This is the part most people feel first. Expect tribalism, more emotional volatility, more performative morality. Performative morality is people acting like they're authentic, but not being authentic. Investing in the mask instead of in the real skills. As the most smartest person I know in life tells me, my father, evaluate for real skill. I would also say traversely evaluate for hollow mouth service, right? People who try to position themselves in places just using mouth sounds and services. And we're going to expect more performative morality, not real morality, less shared reality, shorter attention spans, increased resentment between groups, more conflict, all right? Why? Because of economic pressure and algorithmic amplification. Because of economic pressures and algorithmic amplifications. Identity-based narratives replacing merit-based ones, and we select our team based on narratives and not real merit, and that's why we're finding the caustic problems that we have, is because these people really didn't have the strength required to do the right thing in the first place. And that strength is cultivated, built, again, whatever mouth sound we want to use here, that barely is going to ever begin to describe what we're really talking about. Incentives favor outrage over competence. Oof. Media news incentives, we are all very familiar. They favor outrage over competence. Video games, we all know, favor outrage over competence. VoodooBreaker.com is a video game project where we wanted to be able to have the blood, guts, and glory, but also offer opportunities, wisdoms, competence, conscious statements and downloads, and opposing paths. You could, should you want, why can't the GTA game give you the ability to go down another road, or at least give you the wisdom that old school tough guys in the hood would give you in the realistic lifestyle situation, which I know about. Also, Bad Breaking Project, True Albuquerque Crime Stories project down below. Trust in institutions is going to continue to erode, right? So if you're asking, does the average social environment of 2026 feel healthier? The answer, I'm sorry to say, is no, it degrades. But the signal improves for the awake minority. I have to pause real quick and tell you guys about our new South American coffee line, Epic Dawn Coffee. There is links down below. This is veteran owned and operated coffee, South American coffee. I come to you from Central and South America all the time on these videos. I've been all throughout Central and South America. I'm one of the smartest, most socio-economically, culturally, economically predictive, smart, genius, 007 things you could do moving forward. Given our study today is set up a plan B. Move with the confidence of a plan B. I like the idea of burn all the boats. It's very dedicated. But right now you wouldn't believe how little much you have to liquidate up there to get big much down here in several different locations. And I'm the man for alternative agriculture in South and Central America, and I've been all over the place Argentina, Brazil. We've got sites in Colombia, Panama, and some other places, right? And we've got a diverse scope on this. Latin America's a no-brainer. It's too easy. It's real perfect. It's inside a lot of our stuff is inside the equator zone, so that means any contaminants kicked up in northern or southern hemispheres, it's going to rotate back up to their respective poles. It just so happens I was a chemical, biological, and radiological warfare defense instructor for several years for the United States Navy, 10,000 qualifications to get on 2 strike group centerpieces. But the signal improves for the awake minority moving forward. All right, here's the part most miss. As things degrade, clarity increases. Mask does drop. Hypocrisy does become more obvious. We're all seeing a lot more hypocrisy now. I would agree with that. We are seeing it. It's been there, and now we're seeing it, right? Fake virtue becomes easier to spot. We're going to become behavior pattern recognition experts on this channel. I'm coming to you as your fellow journeyman, your morning daily study partner. I'm not your guru. I need to get mentally tough too. We're going to do this together, right? Bad actors expose themselves faster. Look, nowadays, cutting edge little princes and princesses of deception is is the majority of the population. That's what the majority of the next population is going to be. I'll put links to my last 2 lives that go over these statistics about this, so you can know that 85% at the end of the day, people around you are not going to play valid, helpful roles in your success, and up to 65% of them may be silently sabotaging you. That is another social, cultural thing to expect, a dynamic to be expecting of, to be looking out for. The middle class is going to collapse a little bit. People are going to force to choose hardcore discipline or decay. You're either going to grow or you're going to die. It's just that simple. As AK said today in the epic morning mastermind of self-development that we've been doing now for about 4 years almost. You're going to discipline or decay, truth or comfort. A lot of people, they can't go into the unknown. I was just talking to my man Milton right before I'm doing this one, right? You can't go into the, what's up, bro? What's up, both you guys? I love you guys, man. And I'm just learning this too. It's like, I thought speaking the hard truth, I'm like opening the door, freedom. Look at what's out here. Look at the lie that you're living. Now I'm saying, but when there's it turns out, this is why psychological study is important. It turns out when there's a trauma bond in place, truth threatens comfort. And if there's a trauma bond in place, always if there's a trauma bond in place, you're going to free the person. You know what I mean? You're not going to show the person freedom. Showing them the truth of the situation threatens their trauma bond, and that's a trauma connection, right? It's not just a comfort zone where you're afraid to step into the unknown. You've got an active intelligence, and we know what it's called in psychiatry if we've done any study whatsoever. That's a basic boo-boo, and I don't even want to use the mouth sound, honestly, but basically, if you are deceptive and more than you're honest, if you're damaging more than you're helping, if you're destructive and deceptive and dramatic, and you've invented all this crap, or you had all this potential, at some certain point, we know it's like, it's a science now. Even near-death experience study is showing this, and all kinds of new comparisons are being, everything is coming to light a lot more. Masks are dropping, but what I wanted to say is there are no bad actors that expose themselves faster. Bad actors, they have to double down. They're already living a lie. They could just tell the truth and turn around and work on themselves and gain real respect from everybody, but none of them are strong enough to do that. They're not strong enough to do that. That's the whirlwind black hole of being a liar. Henry Rollins' band song Liar. I'll put a link to that too. It's just a fantastic dynamic explanation of how dangerous it is to believe lies, tell lies, or be anywhere around decaying, comfortable, resentful people. So you're going to discipline or decay, you're going to truth or comfort, you're going to responsibility or resentment. All right, just take care of business. Ruminator comes into my head, I got to chop her out right away. Any kind of rumination, that's a harmful thought, even though it might be tied to a legitimate injustice, that there's something I need to do. I need to do it, I need to take the action, or it's a harmful thought, right? And these kinds of dynamics, for me, I had to really study 1,000 times to even get down, and I still don't even have them all the way down. I love Chase Hughes, the modern teacher of the psyop. He says the only thing you need to know if a psyop's in place is for people to be silenced, number one, and number two, he says, I'm the expert. I wrote the books on hypnotism and psyops. I've done the work, and I still get caught. That's back to what I was saying. Now, master manipulators. It's going to be very hard to tell, but on the flip of that, I'm very excited about new AI technology, eye detector, lie detector that identifies pinpoints in the eyeball and retina and everything. It's just like 99% effective, and as the cost of issuing those kinds of tests comes down and we can do a more wide berth, it's going to be really interesting. A lot of people that have been really buckling down on those lies, right? Especially if somebody's got, no, this person's lying, here's the truth, and they register a truth teller. I already took a lie detector test in a situation like that. I'm going to take another one, right? In different countries, right? I'll take a few. I don't mind, I'm telling the truth. And I can't wait till the new technology comes out, and I'm going to take those too. No doubt about it, right? So culture splits instead of sliding uniformly. America doesn't decline evenly. It fractures into parallel realities. One side will be victimhood economics, grievance identity, low agency, high entitlement. The other will be small, high trust circles, skill building, physical and mental discipline, quiet withdrawal from nonsense. Quiet withdrawal from nonsense. Pull yourself away and get time alone. Strongest move in the game now. Out in nature. Please find yourself. Find out who you really are. What you really want to do about all this stuff. The mistake is thinking that the average outcome defines your outcome. It really truly doesn't anymore. Now's the time where you can really truly be free, when most people will really truly be enslaved, okay? Social trust will be declining. Trust in media, trust in institutions, trust in strangers and narratives. Nobody's going to know what to believe. It's going to be a very isolated world anyway. Please listen to my plan B. I've got a halftime show. I'm the man in Latin America for alternative agriculture, from Argentina, Brazil, everywhere down here. I speak great Spanish. I am the land surveyor. I'm published for diverse agriculture in the Paris Agreement, tons of nature journals by the Food and Agriculture of the United Nations, and on and on and on. I know what's up with every level of this, but I prefer to be, and I have been, with my hands on the shovel for the last 15 years, and I know more than the health specialists that are responsible for the health crisis. No, but seriously, I got a good biological palate. We've got some great things coming down the line, and key elements right now that can increase your quality life at nutritionaldiversity.com, nutritionalbiodiversity.com, for those key elements like ashwagandha and CoQ10, which are just no-brainer upgrades to longevity, mood support. In 2026, my team, no matter what violent storm goes on outside of us, our inner waters remain calm, and we make the best decisions anyway. Why 2026 feels sharper than in previous years? 2020 to 2024 was confusion. 2025 was fatigue. 2026 is decision. I feel like that's accurate, really, but I don't know if you should trust, and I don't know how much of the decisiveness, anyway, but it doesn't matter anymore to us. Do we understand? Let me get this straight. If there's no levers for you to pull, it's wasting energy from levers you can pull to do the most good you can do before you make that final crossover. All right, and take all your little crossovers up to that final crossover with you. All right, and I got this great halftime show coming up for us. We'll hear. You're going to want to see that, and then afterwards, well, let's just go one thing at a time here. People stop pretending. They stop waiting for normal. They stop outsourcing thinking. They stop believing the system will save them, and that's a good thing. This is going to create tension, but it's going to create competence. Now, if you stay in an incompetent situation and you take comfort over competence, over learning, over advancing, over traveling, over gaining distance, over making miles, over doing what's hard that you know you need to do, it's screaming at you, but you can't do it. You do living on, and that modality is going to really turn into a whirlwind black hole on you when it happens. Don't forget that I didn't tell you self-development is mandatory if you're facing hardcore evils. If someone tells you you're facing hardcore evils and you don't think you are, or several people tell you that you are and you don't think you are, you need to start considering that you might be under a psyop. You might not know what's going on. You can't see the toxic soup when you're standing in it, and just go ahead and free yourself. What this means for society getting louder, your path getting cleaner, the cost of weakness rises. Let me repeat that. The cost of weakness rises. If you procrastinate, if you don't do what you need to do, all the things you need to do, if you don't eat super clean, if you don't not do the thing, if you don't decline all the things that are bad and be able to discern between the two, that's number one. All right, because you're eating clean food, nutritionaldiversity.com, super diet. You got water filters. They found 52 pharmaceutical chemicals in the water. So I don't know what it is. I talk to several clients, and they know that I know what I'm talking about, and I'll tell them, and I'll tell them, and I'll tell them, and I'll finally tell them something like, listen, if somebody like me tells you to go look at a 15-minute web read and you don't do it, who are you? If I talk to you again and you haven't read it, how do you feel? How can you possibly talk to me again and not have read it? Come on, Anyway, society gets louder, but here's the other thing. Ideally, you become such a graduated soul that you're way out here, way ahead of everybody, and you can humbly look back knowing that you were where everybody else is too. But now you're ahead, and you can have patience with them being in all those younger, less mature places that you, thank God, graduated for. You're not the only hand in it, trust me. You earned it. And hopefully and if you prayed for, there's not a lot of people that are going to get divine intervention. I'm so blessed to have gotten it. I would never lie about it. And I have gotten it, and it's got to be behind why I want to pass it on goodness forward. I definitely know that there's more to it than meets the eye here, and what has contacted me already has pretty much communicated clearly that it was because I had already dedicated myself so hardcore to goodness, right? And it was just as Carl Jung said, for me, I saw such darkness in one human being that I ran the other direction as a young person, not even knowing what was going on, but I ran the other direction. Key thing here. And I said, whatever that is, I'm not going to be that. And I found the best people I could have given the circumstances, which grew into, now I'm able to get the respect from people that don't give their respect to many people. True statement. I'm right away recognized, and we all recognize each other, kind of like the upper echelon, and even with extreme because you should have seen me before, even after having extreme PTSD, twitches, you know what I mean, scary, volume changes, neurological disorder, trouble, right? Even with all of that, some people, even it's crazy. The deeper, most understanding individuals really lock on, and the lighter, more judgmental individuals get chipped off. So my great line that I've always appreciated is just greater. You know what I mean? Right now, when I walk into the room, shit, small jealous minds don't. I can't just hear their mind sizzle like I did before. I hear their mind sizzle. I watch their throat go down. Their hands are shaking. Just kidding. America as shared culture, worse. America as a proving ground, better. For the intentional, sharp, demanding, it will be rewarding. For the intentional, it will be rewarding. This isn't collapse, it's sorting. It's sorting. All right? Now, I'm telling you, now is the time for diverse alternative agriculture here in Latin America.
Let's break it down in a way that's both realistic and a little fun. How smart is it to set up a Plan B homestead in Latin America? And onward? Very. Here's why. Resilience factor. Having a self-sustaining spot in a region with rich biodiversity means you're not just planning for a rainy day, you're literally planting for it. Geopolitical stability. Latin America has diverse regions where you can find places less impacted by whatever chaos might unfold elsewhere. Resource independence. Growing your own food, having your own water supply, and building a small community means you're not just reacting to crises, you're proactively creating a buffer. In other words, it's a strategically sound move. Okay, how much does it improve your quality of life? Short answer, quite a bit if you're wired for it. Peace of mind knowing you have a plan B set up means a lot of mental load just disappears. You're not living in fear of what if because you've got a tangible fallback. Lifestyle enrichment. Even if you never fully move there, just having that place to visit, maintain, or use as a retreat can boost your overall well-being. Skills and connection. You'll learn a ton about self-sufficiency and you'll connect with like-minded people. That alone improves quality of life because you're building real-world resilience and relationships. What are the chances you'll actually use Plan B? Real talk, it depends on the world around you, but having it is the win. If things remain stable, you might just use it as a vacation spot or a part-time retreat. If things get rocky, you have a pre-built lifeboat. The mere existence of a backup plan often means you don't need it as urgently, but you'll be glad it's there. Bottom line, you're not just being smart, you're being strategically sane. Even if you never have to run to that Plan B, just knowing it's there can give you a stronger sense of freedom and control. And in a world that might get more unpredictable, that's a solid move. So yeah, go ahead and be proud of that Plan B idea. It's both smart and a potential life upgrade.
Art of the deal, right? Like, know that you can walk away. I like the burn the boats approach as well. It's highly disciplined and very dedicated, right? You have to win. However, I'm thinking of my dad when I say there's so many beautiful places down here to set up a Plan B, and it can be sustained. Not only can it produce the spear-tipping diverse agriculture plan, and this is for everybody, right? I'm just saying, because I've seen I've helped a couple of them, right? You can make multifamily plus multiple stream income Plan B properties. Incredible, coffee farms up here. I am all the time between Nicaragua and Chile, all right, and everything in between. And I'm scoping out new stuff. And I want to be affiliated with several more sites because I promise you I have very entertaining links about this below, okay? So we've got a drone thing that we want to do, some AI farming and upgrades, and we have existing sites and a retreat operation to where we've already hosted a whole bunch of people. You can see pictures and everything. Come down for 10 days. Find out how good you feel after the nutritional diversity diet. Down here with me, you'll feel like a million. You'll be like, man, I can't believe it. I can't believe this. There should be some heavy, serious name UFC fighter coming down and working with me because I guarantee performance increases in every case and category. And total USADA good. The God's way, God's page of nutrition, right? Mental toughness for Americans in 2026. Let's just go ahead and cap this off with some mental toughness references so that we can go into these analyzations of 2026's social cultural climate. prepared, right? Separate what you control from what you refuse to carry. You refuse to carry now anything that you don't have a lever to pull in, because it's just taking energies away from things you do have levers to pull in, and great change that you can make to get your wings and stage 2. That's my only intentions anyway. I don't know about you. But markets, you can't control. Politics, you can't control. Narratives and algorithms, you can't control. But you can control where your attention goes, what your habits are, what new skills you get or make better, what help or get rid of, actually, right? What contagious things you've adopted from other places, like programming functions or deceptions or who knows what. If it's not really helping you and sharpening your blade, let's just go ahead and get rid of it, man. Health. Now we do control our health. We do control our alliances, right? And, you know, me too, I'm always evaluating the people in my life. Like, why am I helping this person when this person over here deserves it so much? Why would I even care about this celebrity when this person right next to me who I love and care about? Because I can actually love and care about people because I'm a real person, and I've done a lot of real work on myself, and I'm always doing a lot of real work on myself because that's what a real person does. Not just some fake person that puts the mask on and says they know everything about everybody and everything, and they don't do really any work at all, but lots of beer and Netflix, right? And it's obviously just by looking at him, sitting next to him, feeling him, smelling him, it's a Jerry Springer person. Treat information like nutrition. Sorry. But no, really. You know, I mean, let's all step it up. Let's all get going in a better direction. Let's be true friends to one another. Let's really care about each other and our character and our integrity and the, overall complete health and fitness of our loved ones. Again, we have to be real people, make real decisions, and be really proud of those to really have love cultivating in our soul for ourselves and for anyone else. People who have deceived other people while they say that they love them, this is a key removal individual, okay? 2026 requires, mental toughness rule. If it spikes emotion without improving action, it's junk. And that's what I was just really got me off on that tangent. If it spikes emotion without improving action, it is junk. 2026 requires fewer inputs. Let me say that 3 times. Fewer inputs. Fewer inputs. Like I just said. Get rid of a bunch of stuff that's not serving you. People, places, things, ideas. Higher signal. New places. New. Better. Nothing attached to the old. You kill yourself today and a new person replaces that old self. And that is the fastest mental framework for functional, extreme, potent graduation. Mouth sound. Slower consumption. Deliberate digestion. Bang, I love this, right? Build a physical mental baseline that stress cannot collapse. Mandatories right here. Consistent sleep window, daily physical exertion, simple, repeatable nutrition, scheduled silence. I'm going to say that 3 times. Scheduled silence. The strongest move in the game for me. Go to nature, of course, but yo, what's up? Oh, it's really good to hear about you. What you're doing. I'm learning from you guys. Thank you. I don't really have anything to say. I have to go. Please excuse me. Back to solo time, right? Detach from performative outrage. No more drama. Drama is the enemy. Drama, deception, destruction, conflict. No more. Reduce dependency on single systems. One income stream, one platform, one institution, one job, one country, one narrative. No, diversify a little bit, right? Shrink your social circle, raise its quality. Just went over that. But back to the other one before it. Don't have all your eggs in one basket, ladies and gentlemen. Plan B. Talk about that just a little bit more here at the end. Don't forget about Epic Don Coffee. It's great coffee, man. We're building up alternative agriculture. Every dollar goes right straight into our nature thing here. Measure life by trajectory, not headlines. Look at where a person is going. Look at where they've gone. What's their progression now? Did they progress and fall and their life's an adventure, a library of chapters? Did they just kind of stay in one place, do relatively nothing, talk like they're an expert in everything, and never really graduate at all in life and still have jobs that they had back in high school? Right? Do they have the results that you want? Do they have the results that you want? Do they have trajectory ahead of them? You should be smart enough to be able to predict that. I started harassing this one guy before he blew up on social media, and I'm pretty sure that my ability to recognize him way before other people did is something that is marked as a positive in his mind. And it's probably not everything required. You need to stack positives, man. If I could go back and tell my younger self one thing, would be like, you got to go hard, son. I would have beat him up. I would have beat him up and submit him and be like, you got to be tough. You got to go hard. You got to be ready for whatever, whenever. Your real friends are going to be hard on you. Your real friends are going to tell you the truth. Your real friends are going to make sure, and they're going to check, and they're going to test and make sure you're a real true cowboy. And not that you're just saying you are. Awareness, common psyops in 2026. Listen, guys, emotional polarization ops. Everybody, we're watching that space shuttle image in result. All right, space shuttle image from the city, by the way, mirrors microscopic cancer. All right, we need to live sustainably. Sean Ryan episode about power grids. Sean Ryan episode about IP connections and child abuse. Now, but with the technology of 2026, we can do sustainable small communities that produce feasts that no king ever feasted on before. Total next level nutrition. Oh, and it goes beyond. Links below. There's going to be identity fragmentation ops. All right, encouraging people to design themselves by narrow labels rather than shared values or competence. When something that should be very diverse is highly narrowed, when something that should be full and complete information becomes very limited, there's a psyop in place. All right, when content is engineered to trigger anger, fear, or moral superiority to increase engagement and compliance. This is Dr. Drew's episode about narcissism went viral. And listen, the algorithm, whether they intended to or not, the algorithms, everything about the technological, definitely social mediological age right now is pushing us towards extreme narcissism. And the guy, and man, it's real. I've conducted some tests myself. I've looked at some interesting test data. It's crazy. It's crazy how extreme it is. And I didn't realize until I looked at the data, until I did the study. Feel good about doing the study to make yourself mentally sharp. Being able to identify outrage cycling, rapid issue rotation to keep attention reactive and prevent long-term focus or solutions. False binary framing. You can't do that. You can't do that. You have to do this or that. You can't do anything in the middle. You can't just be respected by both sides and have your own opinion. No, you gotta be completely fucking weaponized here, man. One side or the other. Whoever's putting you in that position does not respect you, is not being honest with you, is trying to control you. Do you understand? They do not respect you. They are not being honest with you. They're not enabling your freedom and enhancing your life. They're not, all right? You need to know the codes. Attention exhaustion. Overloading feeds so people become mentally tired and stop questioning. Now, this is again why start laser focusing your attention. Cut out everything that there's no lever for you to pull in for sure. Definitely can't have any kind of emotions attached to that shit. Virtue signaling incentives. Rewarding public alignment over private integrity. Fear-based consumption loops. Selling safety, certainty, or identity in exchange for anxiety. Selling safety, certainty, or extreme fear, extreme danger. It's all bullshit, right? If something benefits from you being emotional, distracted, or divided, be very skeptical of that. All right, guys. As our closing anchor here, you don't need to control the world to be free. You need to outgrow the leverages over you. When something is beyond your control, the strongest response is not resistance, it's proactivity. Strengthen yourself. As a cultivator, I am telling you, everything here came here to get strong. All challenges are opportunities to build strength. Take life on like that. Don't procrastinate at all. Get to the truth. Truth is earned. You've got to churn for the cream. You know what I mean? And once you find a known deceiver, if you let them deceive you over and over and over and over again, because that's all they're going to do, I feel sorry for you. And I've seen a lot of people go down like that. You know, I think the modern word is simp or something. But anyway. Don't roll yourself out as a red carpet for somebody else. We need you to express your true self and your true destiny as loud as possible. You've got to go to nature for a time to figure out who that is. You got to study and work on yourself for that person to be great. All right, and Napoleon Hill and Carl Jung are in my headphones all day, but go to the Winners Club. That's the gym, the first hour that it opens, boxing, jiu-jitsu, taekwondo, or weight room. Slay, go as hard as you possibly can for 30 days. Someone's going to talk to you by then. If not, you've already picked out someone you're going to talk to. All right, and if it comes down to that, you're going to say straight, you're going to be honest, which is the best policy. Because every time you do something, you're not attached to the outcome. You're doing it because you're telling the truth and you're doing what's right. And that's as simple as that. If it's not right, don't do it. If it's not true, don't say it. Diversify your options. Strengthen yourself, all right? In 2026, strengthen yourself. Diversify your options. Click the links below, guys. Latin American alternative agriculture is the way. I've weighed all these kinds of worldwide options. I traveled the world last year. I've got the tour t-shirt. Link below for it and everything, all right? Clarify your values. Get out to nature. Clarify your values. For me, I even had to let go of someone I truly love, but I don't control people, and they're not able to hear me because of child abuse, unfortunately. So I've got, and you want to save them from the child abuse, and you try to do everything you possibly can, but when they're psyoped, when they've been psychologically hijacked and enmeshed, like David Goggins' kid, exactly like David Goggins' kid, like Ben Affleck's kid, like so many people, Einstein, right? Who's the other big guy? Oh, 50 Cent, right? 50 Cent's oldest kid. He's a perfect example of what happens, how these kids' mothers, especially the ones that are all over the TV, diagnosably, you have enough footage on the TV to be, it's like how their mothers haven't been prosecuted for child abuse, right? Anyway, so we're going to strengthen ourselves. We're going to diversify our options. We're going to clarify our values. We're going to simplify our lives. And even I can't do anything. I've tried everything. I might have tried a little too hard. There's a point where you're not going to be able to fix this, but you bang your head against it a little bit more anyway. I think I did that, but fine. Maybe I was supposed to. Now I'm definitely supposed to move on, right? And so I've got to carve that love out of my being. And I killed myself. I'm telling you how to do this, right? The mental framework here. When you go in the gym, your mindset is slaughter. You can smell brains. You know what I mean? Even if you've never smelled them before. Up on that pull-up bar, you better figure out what that is. So you really reach down deep, and in this way too, you've got to do it. In this way, I had to do it. Like I said, I study the greats, and then I took it head on. I said all truth. I said all. I don't think anyone's ever mounted the fight. Any targeted parent has ever mounted the fight that I have. I can put a link for that kind of thing too. And now I move on. and I move on knowing that I did it, and I move on quietly about it. Oh, please, hopefully, right? And I realize it never owned me. It never owned me. All right, and so I just want to read you guys this last thing, right? By the end of 2026, there's one thing I want to be able to say. I lived through noise, pressure, uncertainty, manipulation. I felt fear, I felt doubt, I felt lost, I felt heartbreak. But I didn't let any of it decide who I became. I didn't outsource my thinking. I didn't hand my nervous system over to chaos or any other person or any of that. I expressed my true destiny, as I'm saying. It's so important for each one of us to do. I didn't let broken systems or other people's choices or bad decisions define my direction. I got stronger. I got stronger than I ever thought or that I ever wanted to get, right? I got clearer. Fuck, man, I can see psyops. I mean, I got the They Live, that movie from the 70s, They Live. I got the They Live glasses on. That's what these are right here, I swear to you. You know, now, after seeing that insane psychological abuse on the kid and then various stages of the results and then seeing and then going to nature where all the fakeness just dissipates after a while. I lived in the jungle, by the way, for 5 or 6 years, just making sure that I didn't kill anyone. While my kid was kidnapped and brainwashed by meth heads to, weaponized against me. Last time I saw her, she couldn't stop saying, my daddy this, my daddy that. But I'm moving right along. It doesn't control me. I was affected, but never owned. I adapted without losing myself. I overcame the hardest challenges people don't even want to think about. The world changed. I didn't fold. Right? People make their own decisions as adults. I respected them. If it was debatable whether the right thing to do was, I didn't do it. No matter how much every single piece of my DNA was telling me to. Listen, guys, I just want to say I've been touched by the other side several times, right? And I know there's another side. NDE analyzation shows us there's another side. I think that you too, going out to nature, praying in the name of Jesus, there's power there, man. I don't pretend to know the history. I'm not going to say I'm a scholar or whatever, but I cried out twice to Jesus, using Jesus' name, and I got 2 responses. And after that, I'll just keep going with what works, right? And respect what is, and not live a fantasy and not try to change it for myself and not let someone else who's got sickness in them change it for me. I'm just going to churn for the cream, man. Purification. That's my number one process in 2026. When the Banshee ruminator visits me, I will not just slap her out or carve her out. I will annihilate her. And use her as a and not just do the pee feet every time I walk through the bathroom door, my sets of exercises, but every time Ruminator visits me, I will do even more. I will use this to be stronger than I ever have before. And it is all thanks to 2 dirty. So whether you want to be good or bad, I appreciate you. I thank you. Those of you who fall, who drift, who make the wrong decisions, who become deceptive beings. If it wasn't for you, because nature doesn't believe me, I'm the expert there too. It doesn't provide such maniacal, evil, advanced opposition to overcome, build strength, and prove valiance from. This is beautiful holodeck training module for our soul. Again, with measurable, investigatable experience after death. All right? Based on the way you lived life here. Right? And I just love the idea of living as honorably as I possibly can. It's not that I want to beat everyone else out. It's just that I want to show God how much I really love and appreciate Him. Un momento, por favor. Dame 5 minutos. And so it's how do you have to explain to somebody? Okay, not to, I mean, like, a lot of the stuff I say in these videos is actually, I'm like explaining stuff I don't think that needs to really be explained a lot of times, but boy does it ever, you know? And it's just, it's very interesting. Listen, nature doesn't just teach people respect, as Herod Bonner observed, and anyone who intently observed and goes to spends time in nature. Nature demands politeness. I always think of the scene in the Avatar movie where she's like, you're always stumbling around making a bunch of noise. It does. Nature demands politeness. You have enough experience in nature. We're moving very cautious, respectful, and even polite. Do you understand? All this rudeness and conflict and stuff, that try to have that exist, just you and whoever else way out there. That's real. Leave the fake alone. Leave it all alone. Leave the conflict alone. Construct, respect, politeness. And listen, disrespect is lying to my face. The most golden respect is giving me the hard truth when someone's lying in my face. And definitely when it costs you to do so. What are we doing here? We're being valiant. We're being incredibly valiant. And we're showing above who we really are.